Hi friends, it's Sarah from Berry and Pine. We're making two Dollar Tree candlestick crafts today. I'm gonna get started by using this inexpensive snow globe from the Dollar Tree. Now it's the one that has the little like suction cupped thing in there like that. It's nice. Now you can use it like this with the white base, or you can use it like I'm going to use it with no white base so I can hide it like that. I'm also going to be using the Dollar Tree candlesticks, some, what do you call it, bottle brush trees, and of course the Dollar Tree snow. I covet this stuff. Some bells, some berries, greenery, and some ribbon. So I'm going to be gluing directly onto this piece again because I think it's going to be easier to hide than that really bright white base. So all I'm doing is just making sure I have enough room for all of my little bottle brush trees. Kind of bent that one, so I'll have to squish it out later, but I just want to make sure that it fits. So now I'm just going to glue these all down. You can use E6000. I was just worried about the base because it's like that thin plastic. I didn't want to melt anything. So squished bottle brush tree now needs to be refluffed, and then I just start adding a little bit of glue. Hot glue and a little bit of the Dollar Tree iridescent faux snow. I like this stuff a lot better than the styrofoam beads because I find those things all year round. All right, so I just repeat and then give it a tap, put all of this stuff away because I do, honestly, I love that stuff. Now I'm just going to pop this on. I did not need glue for this, but if you're selling, as always, glue is the answer. So I put E6000 down, forgot I wasn't recording, and then added hot glue. So there you go. You're just gonna wanna hold that after you position it in center. You're gonna wanna hold that for a few seconds while the hot glue dries. Then I just took a 1/4 red velvet inch ribbon and then added that to the bottom and just basically covered the little section at the bottom. So now I'm going to take greenery. So I'm going to make laurels with mine. You can make a full like candle wreath thing around it, but I just want to use laurels. And so what I'm doing is just making sure I'm using pieces that bend. And they're going to wrap around like on either side like this. Isn't that going to be nice? I think it's going to be nice. Everybody likes it at my house, so it's already up now. Even though I did this in like August, it's up now. It's December, almost December. All right, so now I'm just going to take a piece of gold wire. This is just like floral wire. It doesn't have to be gold. I'm just using gold bells. And I'm going to put the wire on the bottom of each of these and sort of near the top. All I'm doing is just taking a piece, hiding it in between the pine things as best I can, and then twisting it. That's going to be my join onto that main wire. So it's so thin, you just cut it with scissors. It's not like it's really hefty stuff, but I'm just going to add one up here. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want it to stay apart for my laurels, but if you want it to join together all the way around, you're going to add one at the very tip as well. All right, so once I cut this down to size, I am going to leave a little bit of extra because I'm going to be threading some bells on it. But now I just need to cut these down to size because I want them to overlap just a little bit like that. All right, so now I'm just going to add on this back one that I cut, and I'm just going to start joining them all together. Now this part, I didn't speed it up or anything, but what I did was I threaded this part on first. There's just 3 of these little Dollar Tree bells. Like I have a billion of them. And then I'm just going to like kind of put this on, not loosely, but I do want a little bit of slack because I'm going to be twisting that closed, right? So I'm also going to be adding a bow on top. So I wanted to make sure I had the clearance. And now I'm going to start attaching everything to this main wire. So that's like my guide wire. And all I'm doing is making sure my guide wire is out of the way and then putting these two around the guide wire and twisting them into place. And I know there's going to be gold stuff there, which is why we're leaving them all long like this. I'm going to add some bells in just a second. Now I'm just going to do it with the other side, making sure I really capture it really tightly because I'm making sure it's really secure on this and when I put my wire around my snow globe. All right, so now that the piece is together, just going to make sure I put the bells in the right spot because I'm going to tug this over And I'll thread it under there in just a second. But now it's time for these bells. I have a whole little tilt bin full of Dollar Tree bells. So I'm going to add a bell right where the pieces of my gold wire are joined. And then I'm just going to tie those down. And then we can cut off all of the rest. So I'm just making it a little accent so that you can see, there's going to be gold there. So I want to, hide it with a bell. I love, nothing this year has been purchased, by the way. I have a ton of Dollar Tree stuff that I just have on hand. And so all of this stuff you probably have in your stash. All the candle holders at the Dollar Tree are worth the price. That was my sped up version of cleaning. Sadly, it doesn't happen in real life. Now I'm just going to cut off all the extras except for those front two pieces. And make sure you twist them down if there's like any extras. And then find my front. And now this part's a little tricky because I'm going to be pulling them together with the little wire when I twist the wire. And by tricky, I just mean I had to use two hands. And then I will move the bells over. You can see, so I'll move the bells over just a little bit right here, making sure my wire is up at the top of that and then tightening it really, really tightly. So I also ended up getting some needle nose pliers and really tightening. After I cut off the excess with those, I ended up getting my needle nose pliers and really tightening it up. And that way I know that when I put this away for the season, it will not come apart. And then I just pinched it all together, fanned out my little what are they called? Ferns? No. Pine? I don't know. Anyway, I made a red bow and I glued it on. That is it for this one. It's so fast and it's so simple and it's things that you can get at the Dollar Tree. Everybody liked this on my mantle. I have it on the corner of my mantle. So hope you did too. Let me know down in the comments below. I like that it jingles. All right, so the next one was the most I got a lot of oohs and ahs from this one. So I used this metallic warm gold spray paint, used these brassy kind of gold candlesticks from the Dollar Tree. And there's 3 of them, but I just needed 2 for my table. So I'm going to be using those. You can see now they're painted. Now I'm going to keep this spray paint because I'm going to spray paint my accents. We're going to use the same 1/4 inch red velvet, some floral foam, and a whole bunch of greenery, whatever you have on hand. Again, I just used everything I had. So I'm going to use a serrated knife to just cut a block of this stuff. These little candlesticks, they're really thin. They're for taper candles, so you don't need a lot of floral foam. And honestly, if you have green floral foam or white floral foam that you can wrap in green fabric, that would work as well. You don't have to have the wet foam like this. I just used it because it was green. So now I'm going to kind of taper the edges. And then I'm going to be adding glue, and then I'm going to press and hold just so this stuff doesn't come down. It'll actually create a divot into the foam. And that's what we want. And do it for the second one. And it's just a tiny piece of floral foam, but these things get pretty sizable. All right, so quick cleanup again, magic of editing. And now I'm just going to use a whole bunch of different floral. If you are unaware, if you never had your house done or you don't have a friend like I do who is an interior designer and decorator, I'll just tell you, a sign of a high-end piece of greenery usually has more than 1 or 2 kinds of greenery in it. So you can see I have at least 4 on that table that I'll be using for these 2 pieces. I am using anything from Balsam Hill to Hobby Lobby to Joann's and Michael's and even the Dollar Tree for these. All I'm going to do is create 4 or 5 layers, and then I'm going to put stuff in between those layers on each of these. That's it. Each of them gets a bow. Each of them get an accent piece from the Dollar Tree. These do not look like Dollar Tree items when you're done. So you can see I just cut every one of the big chunky plastic pieces off the end, trim down the ends to be just the plastic, and then on some of them that were on the side or were hanging over, I added glue. You don't need them on a lot of them, but anything that was sort of defying gravity, I made sure to use some hot glue. And then I just layered over and over. I filled in anything I could. This is some mistletoe that I got. tag still on it, obviously. And I'm just putting that into like open greenery spaces. And you can see these are from the Dollar Tree. I know they're from the Dollar Tree, but they're going to work. We're going to take off the tinsel and we're just going to end up tying them together, popping them on. And again, in the same subtle gold, where it's just going to add a nice like base for that red ribbon. I'm going to obviously take that off and spray paint all of these gold. Again, I'm using the same exact gold that I used for the candlesticks. And these are so light, you do have to weigh them down with rocks or something. But once those are done, you can see I went ahead and finished up with the little lamb's ears, some Dollar Tree gold leaves, and then I'm going to just build these out, each of them. So I'm going to use 1/4 inch red velvet ribbon and just position it like this. And all I did was just used hot glue for all this. For these, I did want them to be kind of splayed out. I don't know, separated, so I had to tie them together with the ribbon. And then I just glued a bow on top because trying to make that thing into a good bow it took me a minute to realize I wasn't going to be able to do it. And so here you can see I'm just going to add a profuse amount of glue, and then I'm going to hold it in place and top it off with a little bow. And if you have any like extra spots, or if you're seeing it from all the angles, I put it up on my mantle. I put it on the Christmas, or like on the dining table in the formal dining room, because I wanted to make sure I didn't have any open spaces. And that is it for this. Isn't it easy? Like I tell you, it helps me use a lot of craft supplies. Most of this stuff is from the Dollar Tree. I got the red velvet ribbon on Amazon. So it's just, I think it's fun. I think it's easy. I hope you liked it. Let me know down in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications.